handle the truth.
Well, I got scared that he would like throw acid on my face or something.
Oh my God.
I jumped.
And he hit me from the back. I fall to the ground, and he kicks me in the face like 20 times. I almost died. I had internal bleeding in my skull. Almost, coma.
He could have killed him.
What's up, everybody? So this documentary is about the evilest man in comedy, Joe Rogan's best friend, Ari Shaffir. So part one is about how he brutally beat up Bobby Lee on 3 separate occasions. Bobby is harmless and not a fighter at all.
Remember Ron Peterson? Canadian guy. Well, I was at the Comedy Store one night, and he goes, "Who's that on stage?" I go, "That's Natasha Leggero." He goes, "She's hot." I go, "Yeah, but she lives with Ari Shaffir." And then a couple hours later, I was driving him back to the hotel where we were staying at, and he goes, "I got her number." Yeah, but she's seeing my friend Ari. He's like, "Yeah, but she's going to go on plays with him, dinners, behind Ari's back." And out of nowhere, Ari calls me, "She left me, dude." I go, "Yeah, but," she goes, "You set them up." And here's how I know you did it. I go, "How?" "If you don't do this for me right now, this thing I'm going to ask you to do, I know that you set them up."
Whoa.
What was the thing?
What was the thing?
Break into his office, go into his computer, and steal the emails between Ron. So I go, I can't break into his fucking office.
But can I just say the
What?
visual of you with a little smoke puff? Poof. Running in and breaking
I
in.
need to break into his office to get things.
Yeah, I was like, go into his office and see what she's been writing him.
Yeah.
I was like, hey, go in there and find out. And you're like, I don't want to do it.
And then you
do
say,
it.
this is what you said to me.
What?
You said, if you don't do it,
Yeah.
that means that you set them up.
Oh, right.
Which was so absurd to me. Let's say one last thing you also did, which was made me go, I like Brian Callen.
What'd I do?
I was standing outside the Comedy Store, sitting there in the patio. I was with Natasha Leggero. Okay?
I love her.
Ari Shaffir walks by with a glass of ice
Yeah.
and whips it in her face. Shards of glass hits her face.
Oh my God.
Right?
Why would he do that?
Because they used to date, and she betrayed him. He had
he
so
did
much
it on
rage.
purpose.
Yeah, he did it on purpose.
That's horrible.
Right?
Yeah, but
and you were the only guy to stand up, and you got right in his face. And you go, what the fuck's your problem? And I've never seen him that scared. He goes, I don't know you, dude. I don't know you. Back off, dude. I don't know you. You know, that was that kind of a thing.
Brian
But
to the
you're a real
rescue.
man, dude.
Well,
That was good shit.
I had to say something. I saw it, and I don't think Ari meant to throw it in her face. I think he meant to throw it in her direction.
Yeah.
And it hit her. And then
He meant to throw it in his face.
Well, and
Probably the ice, and then maybe the glass slipped.
but also Ari kind of. I think I realized that this ran deep. That thing ran deep,
Real
between
deep.
them. And I talked to Natasha about it. I talked to him, and it was like I was like, these are two good people that just had
He
a moment.
beat the living shit out of me during that time, 3 times in a row.
I heard he beat you up.
He kicked me in the
did?
face 45 fucking times.
He also
where
let you
I was
40 grand.
I almost died.
Are you serious?
Yeah, my eyes got all red and like blood. I had internal bleeding in my skull.
Oh
and,
my-
and I was going through convulsions.
Wow.
And
Why is
no
he
one
not
at the
in
Comedy
jail?
Store helped me out.
What?
I kind of got up and I go, I'm going to call the cops.
That's what I mean by.
And they go, no, you're not.
That-
Wouldn't he periodically like splash water in your face?
No, that was her. Remember that
No,
one time?
I was at the Comedy Store, and all of a sudden, I just heard someone say, "You don't belong here," and throw a drink in my face.
Yeah, but you know who confronted him right after and Brian Callen.
Well, that was nice of
They
them.
both got up, right, and followed him into the steps that go into the OR and screamed at him.
Well, I got scared that he would like throw acid on my face or something.
Oh my God.
Oh my God.
Because that's a little crazy to start strangling your friend.
He threw water in your face. He strangled me, beat me up. He was going through a fucking time, that guy. You know, the comedy culture for me, since I moved there in the late 90s, has always been bullying. Especially in certain clubs, it's always been a boys' club. I mean, there were boys, I can't name names, that would literally walk up to Whitney Cummings and Chelsea Handler and go, women aren't funny, get out of here. One time, a comic threw ice at Natasha Leggero's face. You know what I mean? Like, get out of here. You know what I mean? Like, that type of mentality. They've also said stuff like that Asians aren't funny back in the day. Just don't do stand-up because they're not funny, they're not a funny people, this and that. But all those things are things for me to persevere. But because I'm a guy from trauma and, my dad was so violent growing up, right? I've always had this thing of like, I'll show you, I'm going to get through this. Because of the culture at the time, right, of bullying, right? I just felt like that was just a part of the nature of the sport.
Wow.
And I endured it.
Wow.
Because when you're on his bad side, he would walk by me. You're a piece of shit. You're not funny. You shouldn't be here. You know what I mean? You're dumb. You're dumb. You never went to college. And and he would say that, and I hated him. I didn't hate any. I hated him more than Hitler. He kicked me in the face 50 times.
It sounds like
But the thing is that because he hangs out with everybody. He's not just some unknown guy. He's Joe Rogan's right-hand guy.
Serious?
Yeah, he's always at the clubs. I've known him for over 20 years.
How tall are you?
6'3".
Yeah, I'm 5'4". At the parking lot at the Comedy Store, and I just hear running. You hear running, you just think that people are just jogging, whatever. You don't think that somebody's gonna do a Superman punch from behind.
I was talking to Dave Mashevitz. I saw Bobby, and I go, "Oh, excuse me, Dave. I have to take care of something. I need to take care of this."
Yeah. He just
Bobby
hits
starts
me,
running away. I jumped.
and he hit me from the back, and then I
Fell again. That was your number one defensive move.
So then I go to the office to call the police.
Yeah.
And Steve Renazizzi pulls the fucking cord out of the wall.
Damn.
So don't call the police.
Yeah.
And his excuse was it was a Friday, and he goes, if Ari goes to prison, he'll stay there over the weekend.
What happened in Steve Renazizzi? You know who he is? Steve Renazizzi. He was a comedian that lied that he was in 9/11.
And you know Steve Renazizzi, how honest he is. So you know what I mean?
He's the guy who lied about being in 9/11.
Did they ban you then? I think for a month or something after that.
They banned me, and then they're like, you can't be beating up Bobby 3 times. 2 is okay, but
I'd also do this. Even after he got back in, I'd walk down the hallway, and he would just say shit. Like, here's the dumbest guy in the fucking building.
I know what bothered you.
Yeah, things that he knew that would bother me. Yeah. You can't even get a thought together. You can't even speak English, dude. And you're born here. You're like, he would say shit to get me riled up, and I would just be like, I can't even come here. I hate this guy. And it was like that for years. I was getting beat up by him. So I was mad about that.
Wait, so he was like beating you up like after
3
school,
times.
there was a bully who would beat up a kid all the time.
Yes.
I did not know that.
Yeah, and then a week later, he strangled me to the point where I turned purple and my neck was bleeding. Go, no, I'm not going to do that. And he goes, then you set them up. So that Friday, I show up at the Comedy Store and I'm checking in at the front counter and he punches me in the face.
Like for real punches you. This is not a comedy fight, a comedy joke fight.
I fall to the ground and he kicks me in the face like 20 times. Now I'm bleeding. I'm like, almost, coma. For my name being called.
On stage.
And I go up on stage. I only went up for 1 minute.
Yeah.
And I go, that guy right there. You know what I mean? I'm bleeding from the face. He beat the shit out of me. You know what I mean? Like I called him out. Ari Shaffir. He's just emotional. Don't do anything. I go, all right. It's like how cool I am.
Yeah.
A week later, I'm walking down the hallway at the Comedy Store. He fucking lunges at me. Right? And he starts strangling me in the fucking hallway with his little Jew thumbs in my throat. But I remember going upstairs and my neck is bleeding. And she goes, why are you crying? And why is your neck bleeding? I go, he attacked me.
Oh no, here comes the third ass kicking.
And I show up at the Comedy Store and I just hear running. Right? Like I park the car, I close the door, I hear, and then no running because he's in the air.
Doing a Superman punch?
Yeah. He does a Superman punch from behind.
One time he saved up his poo. He put poo. You know how your handle in your car, so you put it in the handle. So
Oh, that's diabolical.
Got in the car. I'm like, I got to get home to wash this stuff out. And so I see a little poo in the front window there of my car. So I go, you know what? I'm going to put the fucking the windshield on. And he had put all the poo on that.
That is truly diabolical. He's like, I'm going to put a little spot so you use your windshield wipers.
All over. Like, it was just like a brown smudge.
Oh,
I thought it was a meeting that I was speaking at, but it was a show called The Alcoholics for AA.
Oh.
And Ari goes, I'm going to show up to that thing. It's a show, but it was with all AA people doing it in front of AA people.
I thought it was AA meeting.
I'm going to show up. I'm going to fuck up your speech.
Ooh. Yeah.
That's what he said. My sponsor at the time, Richie, and all his sponsees have photos of Ari,
Do
and
not let
they're
him
walking around this fucking auditorium to see if they see this fucking guy.
I'm at home. But yeah.
I mean, that's the kind of heartache this guy fucking
You know what I wanted?
So someone even left a comment saying, why didn't Ari try to beat up Ron, the guy who actually stole his girl, not Bobby Lee? But as you can see, this is a typical bully move to go after someone who will not fight back. But this also leads me into part 2 when Ari slips Bert Kreischer Molly. And Bert is another soft comedian who's not going to fight back, and Ari takes his kindness for weakness.
Let's start with Ari slipping me Molly.
You slipped him on?
Yeah.
Dude, what are you doing? What are you doing? How much?
It's enough.
How did you do it? Where was this?
It was at his house.
It was
at
at my house in
podcast.
front of my children.
Oh.
We had a shot before we started. I had to empty out a capsule and fucking put it into a shot.
Are you out of your mind? Are you out of your mind?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You don't think it's fucking crazy that you would do that?
A bit. Yeah.
You're not doing it to like your fucking college roommate.
It's
and you
great,
just
Molly.
spiked
It's
his
great.
drink?
Yeah. Yeah.
High blood pressure, high cholesterol.
Emptied out 3.
You don't think, I mean, like, you definitely
It's
would
great.
see that spiking a girl's drink is not okay, right?
Scared to be around
No, I won't
Jamie.
toast you again. It's a one-time only thing.
You gotta not do that again, dude.
No,
For
that's a
real.
one-time.
You do this a lot? Do you
No.
spike drinks?
I've never done it before.
Really?
Yeah. The first time.
And what made you fucking want to
Forced him to do a drug?
Yeah,
a
so
hard
he's
drug?
doing it for me. Yeah, fun, hard party drug. We had a
Would
great
you do
time.
that to Tom? Or would you only do that to Bert?
He would
probably
not
asked
do
it.
this to Joe, and he goes, 100% I would.
Yeah, if
I was
this
like,
podcast is yesterday, it wouldn't.
Him and Leanne are starting to patch things up. Him and Leanne had a falling out before because Ari had commented on Georgia's teeth. Georgia, her teeth are great now, but when she was younger, she didn't have any enamel on her teeth, and they didn't look great. I posted a picture of me and her in Hawaii, and Ari was like, way to have ugly, no stupid fucking teeth.
Oh,
fucking
fuck
fuck
no.
that.
Fuck no. That is absolute beyond crossing the line for me. That's the same reason why I don't post a lot of stuff about my family.
Yeah.
Because I'm fair game. You can say anything you want about me, but if you come for anybody in my family, that's a fuck no for me.
He did that, and then I was like, fucking Ari. Leanne saw it. We were in Hawaii. She was livid, fucking livid. So I take the picture down. I call Ari. I go, bro, don't fuck. Why would you do that? And he was like, what? It's a joke. And I was like, it's not a joke. My daughter could have seen that. He goes, don't post your daughter online. Don't post your daughter online. Ari, I want you to go into the kitchen. I want you to apologize to Leanne and say, I'm sorry I did that. And he goes, okay. I still don't think I should. And I was like, Ari, you should. Just do it. Ari comes out and he goes, I did it. You're welcome. And I went, I go,
Oh my God.
thank you.
Yeah.
We walk inside and Leanne's like, he didn't apologize at all. He just kept saying, it's a joke. It was a joke.
But he has no sensitivity about other people's feelings.
I think he might be autistic.
Yeah.
I just think anybody who comes into someone's house with their kids there and drugs an adult in charge there's something wrong with that. I mean, Bert could have had a heart attack. He could have had a stroke. That was pure Molly, and he's on blood pressure medication. He's 47 years old, but no one does that. Who does that? Very date rapey to go and blunk, and now you're under my control. Yeah. He definitely can't come in my house again if he's going to bring an extremely illegal drug into my house when I have teenage kids and drug my husband.
And he really miscalculated it.
I'm with Leanne on this. I can appreciate a complex man.
Yeah.
I can appreciate all sorts of complex personalities, but that is diabolical because when you involve the kids in someone's home, that is, to me, that's poisonous.
All things, you're never allowed in my house again. My wife hates him to death. My kids fucking hate him. Like, they don't, and what sucks is Isla loved him. Isla and him connected on so many things. They're both weirdo brains, and Isla loved him. And Ari's an interesting guy because, like I said, my daughters hate him. My daughters hate him, and my wife hates him. He was very friendly in our house. Like when he showed up, he was always traveling. He always had a backpack. He was always doing laundry, and like him and Isla connected, and they found him funny, and it was fun. And then in one stupid thing he did, he made it so that now my daughters hate his guts.
Understandably,
and my wife hates his guts. And
I love you.
Yeah,
I don't love Ari. I don't know him that well.
No.
Yeah.
When I heard that pissed me
So
off.
once you
and he goes, hey, let's do a celebratory shot. Start off the podcast. I went, what? And he goes, I slipped you Molly, and I immediately my heart fucking sank, and I went. All I could think was that kid, that young writer from New York, went down to Mexico, took Molly, and died, right?
Yeah.
And I immediately, I'm like, oh my God, I'm on blood pressure medicine. I have a fucking spinning out of control panic attack. But my first thought was, this isn't going to end well. The thing that sucked about it is for all of Sober October, my serotonin levels were off. And so I was like going through hardcore depression and anxiety all Sober October. So I didn't even get to enjoy sobriety the way I had in the past. I felt at unease.
Because you were rolling so hard or something?
Because, you know, I think when you do Molly, I think I don't know, but I'm assuming it borrows good energy and floods your head with that. And then the next couple weeks, you got to rebuild that good energy. Like it takes from tomorrow. And so I had anxiety attacks throughout the entire month.
The problem is there's no consequence. Like if Ari did that to me, you're going to get your ass whooped.
Yeah.
Especially around my kids. There's going to be repercussions.
Yeah.
You do that to Rogan, there's going to be repercussions.
Yeah.
You do that to Tom, there's probably going to be repercussions. But Bert's so fun and playful that Bert, you know.
Is there somewhere in your heart you're thinking of dosing Bert a second time?
For
Catch
sure.
him
You
off
don't think I have
guard?
multiple plans? I don't know. I'm not going to dose him again. Unless the opportunity
If
arises.
they dose him again, it would be fucking hilarious. Like in a bar in New York, if you got him again.
It would be, but I'm not going to do it. But it would be hilarious.
That
I'm
would be
conflicted.
priceless.
So leading into part 3, the final part, this is just hours after the tragic death of Kobe Bryant. Ari on his Instagram basically was celebrating Kobe's death. Kobe is the ultimate legend, so he received backlash, but somehow with his Joe Rogan connection, he still has career after all the shit he's done.
A lot of like hate, pain in the world, and there's always a bunch of terrible stories. And every once in a while, there's a good story. A good story comes out. The guy who got away with rape got his today. Kobe Bryant is a god. I'm here in Charlotte, the home of the team that originally drafted him. Maybe he wouldn't have raped that chick in Denver if he had stayed in Charlotte with the Hornets. But anyway, the point is, dude, it's like
That's why the Kobe's rape victim took the money. She goes, I just don't want to deal with it anymore. Yeah, give me $1 million and then let's never talk about this again. I got raped. I don't want to keep going through.
There's something called common decency, and this was against common decency. He dies with his daughter.
Yes, and you take the narrative
2 other children
to go, oh, well, hold on, dude. You can't say I looked into the case when you didn't.
This was
look
not
into the
this.
case.
This was
the allegations. Look into that, man.
He didn't. He says he followed it really closely.
But you didn't, though.
You didn't. But it's poor taste.
But
it's
even
a
the
shit
narrative's
thing.
not. Yeah, even
it's
the
a
narrative's not
shitty
well.
thing to do.
As much as Ari is unapologetically edgy, he took it down because I bet you he got some motherfuckers going, you fucked up, dog. We gonna come see your ass. You don't fuck with Kobe Bryant. And
you know what I'm
other
saying?
families with their kids. Oof. My man, I was like this. And I texted him. I said, what? I sent him a message. What the fuck are you doing? He goes, I do this all the time when it's not just him. I do it to celebrities that die. I said, my man, you fuck with the wrong one, though.
I sent him a long text about how I just found it really offensive.
Whenever someone dies, it's what he does. And I just went, but why? Like, even creatively, it's not that funny.
We had Ari Shaffir, who's a comedian that I know, who decided to make a video mocking the death of Kobe Bryant. I joke about shit. I push the envelope, and I'm not some joke police. You know, freedom of speech is granted for all of us.
I guess he trolls the dead. I guess when people die, he does videos to make fun of them passing away. And this one, though, it just felt wrong.
But the man just died with his fucking daughter and his family. Like, fuck that guy. That guy's just trying to like capitalize on a moment. Now, we're talking about him. Other people who never knew who he was gave a shit about him for 10 minutes. Fuck that.
That didn't go over well. I'll put that right there. He got away with rape because all the Hollywood liberals who attack comedy enjoy rooting for the Lakers more than they dislike rape. Big ups to the hero who forgot to gas up his chopper. I hate the Lakers. What a great day.
Not the worst of those tweets that I've seen.
From him.
Oh.
It's just the most iconic, famous
It's the most
person.
iconic, famous person.
You know, there were children that died. And so you can't, it's just, that's too much to joke about. It's too much. It's too much.
I totally understand people's anger towards him. Makes sense why they would be so angry about it because they're hurting and they're seeing somebody would seemingly celebrate a tragedy.
What's the nigga name? Ari Shaffir.
who said the terrible shit about Kobe when Kobe died at the end of the day.
Yeah, that was
right?
bad.
He's done a lot of bad shit. He has a shit called Amazing Racist. Like, he's laying the blueprints of what he does and how he feels. And then the fact that when Kobe Bryant dies and it's a fucked up time at the end of the day, you're sitting there saying bad shit about Kobe at the end of the day. Nigga, fuck you.
Famous person, well loved.
Right.
And then died with his daughter, and then died with like 6 other people. There's like a lot of
I guess
things.
you're right.
Because it first got brought to my attention from Rapaport.
Yeah.
Rapaport and goes, "This is your fucking friend?"
And I turned the video on, and I'll be honest, I haven't even watched the whole video. When I got to the part what he was saying, and it was so, I'm a shit talker myself, and I'm not like, I believe, comedians, you could do what you want, but the nastiness in that video hours after this, there was nothing funny about it. There was no intent to be funny. I was disgusted by the shit, and I'm not. I have thick skin. 2 hours after this was broken, to put a camera in front of your face with such nastiness and disrespect, and I found out more about him, and I even about the Bert Kreischer thing, and
where he drugged him.
people. That shit's not funny.
Oh, the Bert thing? Yeah, he drugged him.
He dosed our
spiked him with
friend
Molly.
Bert.
Yeah.
He could have killed him.
Yeah, he could have.
Because he was on blood pressure medication at the same time, and his kids were there at the house, and he dosed him with the wife and the kids.
Apparently on a podcast, Ari said something alluding to, or just right on the nose, that Michael Rapaport hits women. I guess the sore spot for Rapaport is there was some claim against him, some harassment claim against him.
So that gives him carte blanche to smack our friend Ari.
He has the right to give Ari exactly what he has coming to him, you're saying.
On Theo's podcast, it's got hundreds of thousands of followers, and he goes on and says Rapaport hits women. So then Rapaport said, all right, dude, it's on site. And it was.
How did I kind of come over, and he was like, yo, did you say that I hit women on podcasts? Fucking said that about me? Yeah, I did. And then Rapaport smacked him in the chops. He laughed at it or whatever.
I'm friends with Joe Rogan. That didn't hurt.
Get out! Are you too fat to move? Get the fuck out! Go kill yourself out in the parking lot, asshole.
Jesus Christ.
You're not wanted here. Ari, nobody should ever. Why? What's he done? He hasn't helped us at all. He's only hurt us.
He's a
Get the
human
fuck out.
being.
And he's an asshole.
So here's a little bonus clip of Ari actually getting caught taking a piss inside Joe Rogan's house.
What is this? Oh, sorry, I pissing on security camera. We got him on camera, you fucking idiot. What do you think? You're in a low security place?
It's recording.
Why are you pissing in my hallway is a better question.
No,
what
it's
the
not a
fuck
better
are you
question.
talking
No,
about?
those are equal
Why are you
questions.
recording in the hallway when I can piss there?
That was
You
bad.
don't
Why are you
piss
recording?
in the fucking because you never know who's coming through the fucking hallway, Ari. You don't think someone's gonna
Hold
be
up.
pissing out there?
Jamie!
Your behavior's not
Against
normal.
the law!
It's not against the law.
You can't
There's
record
security
somebody.
cameras.
That's your-
It's the hallway in my place of work, not the place where you piss.
Ari has done the JRE podcast more than anyone if you don't include Fight Companions. He has Joe Rogan privilege, or nobody even know who he is. So I just want to say thanks for watching. Please like, comment, subscribe. If you would like to support my channel, join my Patreon for only $5 for exclusive documentaries you won't find on YouTube. Link will be in the description.
Please subscribe with notifications on.